Okay, like I said in the last one, from one season one character that we thought maybe may not come back to another. How is everyone doing today, guys? My name's Tico's, and we have another episode of Amphibia, episode 15B of season 3, or 55B of the entire series, Fight or Flight, which is a freaking fun episode again. It's just, I mean, again, this was another thing where I'm like, I wonder if that will come back into play somehow, and that, in this case, is the moth cat butterfly hybrid things. I forget what they were exactly called, but it's like the domino effect, like all the way back in season 1 when Anne found a caterpillar that looked like Domino, and she took it in as Domino too, and then it turned into the killer moth thing that nearly ate the planters, but Anne was able to save them by throwing the toy into the wild and letting just the Domino 2 just fly off into the distance. So in this episode, we finally see the return of Domino 2, and it all starts when Anne, Sprig, and Soggy Joe are on a stakeout, which is fun. They're on a stakeout trying to figure out who's been stealing the camp's food, and so they find out that it is Domino 2 who flew in, stole the food, flew away, and so the group followed it, and they find Domino 2, and seemingly like that she has her own little nest, but it turns, and then Anne wants to see if Domino 2 remembers her, but then Domino 2 gets captured by Andria's robots and is taken away to some like butterfly nest kind of thing that straps them to this machine that causes them that they use to power up just it's pretty much just like power source, really. So and at first, Sprig and Soggy Joe are just like, well, that solves that problem, let's go. But Anne's like, no, we gotta go save her. And it's like, are you insane? That thing will literally gobble us whole if we try. And of course Anne's like, but it's Domino 2, I raised her, I know her, she could. And then to top it all off, it's not just Domino 2, it's like, of course, like all the other moth cat butterfly hybrid things. I really gotta double check what the heck those things are called. But it's also, turns out that Domino 2 had like a litter of baby caterpillars, which are so freakishly adorable. I didn't realize it in the moment, but like they look like some of the characters, or some of the side characters, which we find out when Anne takes them back to camp, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go rescue their mom, so you guys just need to watch them for a few hours. And then of course, they're like, are you out of your mind? It's like, Sasha, of course, was like, I'm more of a dog person, and then you have the cartoon, like, cat, like, ripping at someone, and it's just like, Sasha's like, hurry, make it quick! And then, I love Grime just, like, just dead in his dead eyes, just being like, I had a cousin who was murdered by one, or not murdered, I was like, I had a cousin who was eaten by one of those things. It's like, okay. But yeah, so the whole main plot is Anne Sprig going to save Domino 2 and the rest of her kind, and the townsfolk are keeping an eye on the baby caterpillars, and it's so ridiculous because the one that got me was Wally again, because Wally, he's trying to act like the tough guard. Is like, all right, you stay there and you don't try anything funny. And it's like one of the caterpillars that is the same color as him, has the hairstyle of him, and has one eye open like him, literally crawls up to him, and I couldn't stop laughing. I'm just like, it looked just like him. It's just so ridiculously hilarious. And so Wally's just like, oh, you look like, oh, you're so adorable. And he even gives him a tiny little Wally hat, just being like, I'm gonna call you Wally Jr. It's so funny. It's so stupid. But then that's not even the funniest thing from that whole B plot, because the part that literally had me rolling in my bed was when freaking Wally, he's playing with the baby caterpillars, and the rest of the townsfolk catch him in the act, and he's like, no, and he's like, no, I'm just playing with my accordion, and he literally grabs Wally Jr. and he starts playing like accordion. It's the most, it's so, it's hilarious because it's like you're playing with a literal baby caterpillar and you're playing it like an instrument. But what was the funniest thing was he literally was making it literally sound like an accordion. It was great. I loved it. And so did the rest of the townsfolk. They really started enjoying the baby caterpillars. And I love that each of them kind of looked like one of the townsfolk, or at least one of them was orange brownish, so it kind of looked like. So Hop liked it. One of them had one eye that was yellow, the other was blue, kind of like Mrs. Croaker. So that one kind of grew attached to Mrs. Croaker. So basically that's what it was. The whole subplot was with the baby caterpillars playing with the townsfolk, which was ridiculously adorable. But the main plot, of course, was Anne and Sprig when they get Rescue Domino 2, and this part was pretty intriguing. So they go in, they see that they're all got that mind control collars, they're creating the power source, and Anne is able to find, all of them are pretty much different colors. All these caterpillar moth things are different colors, and Sprig's like, how are you gonna find Domino 2? She's in a slew of, oh wait, it's that one. It's like, because it's the only one that's like pale white with the pale whites. It's like pretty much that was the only one that looked like that. So Anne was able to spot her rather quickly. So they go in, they're able to free Domino 2, and at first it seems like Domino 2 isn't gonna recognize Anne, but then she flies over to Anne and starts licking her. So it's like, oh, he actually does remember me. That's so great. And Sprig's like, oh, that's adorable. There's one about the emu right behind me, isn't there? It's like, I was like waiting for that. I'm like, something's gonna go wrong. And yep, it's like I love it. It's like it's a close-up shot of Spriggs, he's so happy. Then it's like then they cut to a wide shot, and there is a gigantic moth butter cat moth thing. I don't know what it is. It eats Sprig. So it starts flying, and then she hops on Caterpillar 2, and there was a really good. The music in this scene was really good. It really I really enjoyed the soundtrack for this episode. Just like, especially when they're flying around, they're saving with the on Domino 2, and just flying around with her. It looks so cool, and so she goes and saves Sprig from being eaten by one of them. And at first, it's like they save him, and then it's like, okay, let's get out of here. But it's like, wait, what about the rest of them? And it's like, okay, yeah, we can save the rest of them. And that's exactly what happens. They save the rest of them, and it's like, wait, Domino may like us, but what about the rest of them? And it's like, the gang was, I felt so bad for Sprig in this episode, because he literally was being fought for food, and even Sprig makes a joke. He's like, I don't think there's enough meat to go around, guys. And it's just like, it was so messed up. But Anne's able to save him because, one, she knows how to. She is able to. Or actually, no, she doesn't save Anne. Domino 2 saves Sprig. Anne doesn't save Sprig. Domino 2 saves Sprig because Domino 2 apparently is an alpha. And I don't remember if Marcy ever said like that, because Anne's like, Marcy told me about this. She told me that there was like an alpha thing to it, and I'm like, when did she say that? I do need to go back and go through episodes and be like, wait, what episode was the one where Marcy said that? But basically it's their loophole to get through. Okay, how do we make sure these things don't? How do we get them out of this situation? Like, Domino 2 is the alpha of these creatures, and so they're able to tame them, and now because Domino 2 is the alpha, they have control of this entire army of them. So, and as Sasha points out, as they come back, now they have an aerial attack. And it's like, that's pretty good. It's like, you're gonna need all the help you can get. And I love that. I love that with these episodes, you know, it's like, it's building up the army. It's like, even if it doesn't, it's like, again, even if it doesn't build to the overarching story, it's still building up to it. It's like you're building up the army, you're adding stuff that we've seen before, you're adding the callbacks, the build-up, all of that. Sure, in terms of like figuring out how do we save the, you know, the overarching lore, the mystery and all that, it's like, sure, it doesn't build that, but it's like, it's still building up to the finale in a way. It's like you need that. So, let's see, is there anything else? Yeah, that's pretty much everything in this episode, I think. Wait. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remember. Anything else from this episode, but no, that's pretty much what it is. It's just another episode where they're recruiting new members to the army, another great callback to season 1 with Domino 2 just coming back and actually turning out to be an important part of this whole thing. And man, to think we're just 3 weeks out, because we have next week, we have the 3 armies, we have the 3 armies, we have the beginning of the end, All In, and then The Hardest Thing. So we have 4 episodes left. That's insane. 4 left. 4 of these videos. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm ready. Like, oh man, I just gotta say, for anyone who saw Amphibia, like anyone who was there when it premiered in 2019, man, I don't know. I mean, I can imagine what you guys are going through, just being like, wow, we're almost here. For me, it's been, like I said, I only started watching the show March of last year, so it's like, it's insane how we're already here. I mean, for me, it's insane that we're already here for, like, I can't imagine what you guys, the people that watch this from the beginning are going through. I'm just, man, I'm excited. So, yeah, with all that said, that's the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. And if you want to subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next video. 4 episodes left. How the heck?